Hi everyone, I am Didinje, the author of gmware.com. Today, I want to show you a React Native tutorial, build mobile apps with React hooks. This tutorial can be a starting point to learn React Native from scratch with the new React hooks. We are just not creating the legendary Hello World mobile app. More than that, we will build simple mobile apps that display a list of data, show data details, and show Google Maps. So, you will learn now to access local data, basic React Native routing, React Native basic components, and displaying Google Maps. This tutorial divided into several steps. Step number 1. Install React Native CLI and create app. Step number 2. Add React navigation header and screens. Step number 3. Display list of data. Step number 4. Show data details. Step number 5. Display Google Maps. Step number 6. Run and test the React Native mobile app. The following tools, frameworks, and mobile modules are required for this tutorial. React Native, Node.js with NPM or Yarn, React Native Elements, React Native Maps, Android Studio or SDK for Android, Xcode for iOS, Terminal for macOS or Linux, or Command Line for Windows, Text Editor or IDE. We are using Visual Studio Code. Before start to the main step, make sure that you have installed Node.js and can run npm or yarn in the terminal or command line. To check the existing or installed Node.js environment, open the terminal or command lines by type this command: node v npm v yarn v. Here are the versions of Node.js, npm, or yarn that we are using. Step number 1. Install React Native CLI and create app. For this React Native tutorial, we will use React Native CLI to create a React Native app. To install it, type this command in your app project folder: sudo npm I G React Native CLI. Then create a React Native app using this command from your project directory: React Native init React Native tutorial. Next, go to the newly created React Native app folder and run the React Native app to the iOS simulator. cd React Native tutorial and React Native run iOS. When a new terminal window opens, go to the React Native project folder, then run the Metro bundle server. If there is an error in the bundle URL present, it means the Metro bundler server not running yet while the React Native app is running to the iOS simulator. Just click Reload Now you will see this in the iOS simulator. If you want to run to the Android devices or simulator, just type this command: React Native run Android. Step number 2. Add React navigation, header, and screens. As we mentioned in the beginning, we will use a few screens for this React Native tutorial. For that, we need to add the components for each screen. Type these commands in the terminal or commands line to add folder and the components. Include components. That components files still the blanks JavaScript file. Next, open this React Native project using your favorite IDE or text editor. We are using Visual Studio Code, so inside the project folder type these commands: code dot. We need to make it as the React hooks main function files. Here the basic list screen.js looks like. Here is the detailed screens.js look like. Here is map screens.js look like. Next, we will add the navigation header in the screen layout for these mobile apps. For that, add the libraries or modules of React Navigation Stack, and React Native Gesture Handler, or by type these commands: yarn add React Navigation Stack, yarn add React Native Gesture Handler. For iOS, go to the iOS folder, then install CocoaPods. Back to the root directory. Next, we will implement stack navigation in the current app.js. Open and edit app.js, then add this import of React Navigation, create app container, React Navigation Stack, create Stack Navigator, list screen, detail screens, and map screen. Add a constant variable after the imports that initialize create Stack Navigator. Add the above create Stack Navigator to the create app container. Replace the current main function and the export with this export function. Step number 3. Display list of data. We will use the array of object data and get from the JavaScript file. For that, create a new JavaScript file in the root of project folder. Open and edit that file and then add these lines of the array. Next, we will use a combination of React Native elements, list item, and React Native flat list. For that, we need to install React Native elements first and its dependencies. Yarn add React Native elements. Yarn add React Native factor icons. As usual, do this for iOS. Also, we need to add or replace this array of key UIF fonts in iOS, React Native Tutorial, info playlist. Next, open and edit components list screen.js. Then add these imports of React Native style sheet, flat list, activity indicator, view, text, React Native elements, list item. Add these constant variables at the top of the main function body. Add React hooks use effects to reload data. Add the conditions to show loading spinner or text base on loaded data. Add the constant variables for React Native flat list key extractor and React Native elements list item. Replace the return functions with this return function that contains React Native flat list. Finally, add the required styles after the main function. Step number 4. Show data details. We will show details of data using React Native elements card that contains image, button, icon, view, and text elements. Details data get from the filtered array of objects by ID. The ID gets from the React Native navigation params. Open and edit components detail screen.js. Then add or modify these imports of React Native scroll view, style sheet, image, view, text, React Native elements card, button, icon, and theme data. Add a constant variable of details data inside the top of the main function body. Add the React hooks, use effects after the constant variable. Modify the return functions to display the details of data using React Native elements. Step number 5. Display Google Maps. This step is a little bit complex because it involves the native iOS and Android configuration. We will use the React Native Maps modules for this tutorial. For that, install that modules first by type this command: yarn add git plus https colon / git at github.com React Native Community / React Native maps.git. We are adding a module using Git directly because the npm module has an error for Android. Next, we will configure for each platform, iOS and Android. Before configuring this application natively, make sure you have enabled the Google Maps SDK for Android and iOS and have an APK. We did not cover how to set up that in Google Developer Console this time. You can find it in our other tutorial category. For iOS, go to the iOS folder and install the CocoaPods. Next, open and edit iOS React Native Tutorial app delegate m. Then add this imports Google Maps or Google Maps.h. Add this line to the top of did finish launching with option method body. You can fill your API key with your Google Maps SDK for iOS API key. Next, open and edit iOS pod file. Then add these lines after other pods. Type again these commands in the terminal to install the CocoaPods. Back to the root directory. For Android, after installing the React Native Maps module, open and edit Android app build Gradle, then add this line to dependencies block. Next, open and edit Android app src main Android manifest XML. Then add this line before closing of application. Fill your API key with your Google Maps SDK for Android API key. Next, we will implement Google Maps to the React Native functional component. Open and edit components, MapScreens.js. Then add or modify these imports of React Native Style Sheet, View, and React Native Maps, Map View. Add the React hooks use stats constant variables to hold the latitude and longitude from the params. Add these React hooks use evac to reload the longitude and latitude from the params. Modify the return functions to this return function that implements React Native Maps Map View. Don't forget to add the style sheet after the main functions to show Google Maps on the React Native screen. Step number 6. Run and test the React Native mobile apps. You can watch these screens to run and test the React Native mobile apps for Android and iOS. That is React Native tutorial building mobile apps with React hooks. You can find the article, the full source code at the description below. If you think this tutorial is useful, you can click like, share, comments, and subscribe to this channel. Thank you and see you later.